Hi there, Aries. Star-Lord is here. I'm here today to talk to you guys about Aries compatibility with the other astrological signs. Now, first off, I'm going to start with Aries with Aries. I'm going to go down the line from Aries, Taurus, and so forth, and give you, from my opinion, what I feel is compatible, which signs I feel are compatible, neutral, or so I'm going to give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a neutral on the different signs in terms of compatibility with relationships. Now, we're going to start off first with Aries and Aries combination. Well, Aries and Aries combination, I would have to kind of give it a thumbs down, because basically for a relationship, Aries and Aries, too much Mars energy together, it can result in a lot of conflict. The Aries combinations I've seen in the past never really went too far. These two signs seem to respect one another. However, in terms of a relationship, it can be quite difficult. Okay, now moving on to Aries and Taurus. This combination, in my opinion, can be kind of neutral, because the Aries energy does work with the Taurus energy to a certain degree. The Taurians have that grounding energy and sustainability and strength to be able to handle the Aries flaring temper and impulsivity and so forth. So in my opinion, Aries and Taurus are neutral. Moving on to Aries and Gemini, I would give that combination a thumbs up. I have seen this combination several times, and believe it or not, even though these two signs are very different in a lot of ways, one's fire, one's air, this combination can work beautifully, actually. Aries seems to bring a certain grounding to the Gemini that can sometimes be a little bit flighty, and Gemini seems to bring a lightness towards Aries that Aries needs, because Aries does tend to be a little bit can be a bit of a workaholic and be very serious. So Gemini kind of lightens up the Aries, I think, in my opinion. Now, moving on to Aries and Cancer, I find that combination to be, again, neutral. The Aries Cancer combination is a little bit difficult. It can be a thumbs up or a thumbs down depending upon the people involved, of course. Aries and Cancer both have that ambitious side to them, and both love to progress and move forward. If they're in a paired couple, they are both looking for the same type of thing, I think, in a marriage or a long-term stability situation. The Aries just has to be careful not to hurt the Cancer's feelings, because Aries temper flying off the handle from time to time can be rather hurtful to the very sensitive Cancer. But moving on to Aries and Leo, thumbs up. Beautiful combination. Again, I've seen this combination many times. It works. Those two fire energies seem to complement each other, and can have a very wonderful but at times extremely stormy relationship, because both of them have some fiery tempers that fly off the handle from time to time, but they both seem to understand and know what to do in that situation. Now, the Aries and Virgo combination, on the other hand, not so good. I would have to give that a thumbs down. These two energies can be very difficult. Seeing eye to eye with each other can be extremely difficult. The Virgo is looking at situations from one point of view, very solid, grounded point of view on a material level and so forth, and the Aries sometimes wants to sort of buck that or go against it to a certain degree. I think that Aries needs a little bit lighter energy, whereas again the Virgo is very serious, and the Aries has a tendency to be extremely serious as well. So these two combination can sometimes just bring each other down a bit. Now the Aries Libra combination, again another thumbs down in my opinion. These two signs are opposite, and you will notice throughout the rest of these videos that when it comes to the opposite signs, I will give them thumbs down because of the fact that although we can often be extremely drawn to our opposite signs and can become great friends with them, in terms of a relationship, it tends to be extremely stormy, and eventually both people end up extremely hurt, and these relationships can often end up in a really, really bad place. They're at the core, opposite signs are similar, but when it comes to relationships, you often spend a lot of time with the other person when you're in a relationship, obviously. So when it comes to that type of situation, when you're with somebody who's at the core very similar but also very opposite, we do have a lot to learn, I believe, from our opposite signs about ourselves. It can be a very helpful relationship in the way that ultimately we will learn a lot about ourselves through a relationship like this, but it's often extremely tumultuous, and generally, from what I've seen, ends in bitter disaster a lot of the time. So moving on to Aries with Scorpio, again I would have to give that combination thumbs down. There's both of these signs are extremely passionate and extremely intent on having their own way, and again can make good friends, but in terms of relationship, it's probably not the best idea. They usually go hot and heavy, passionate in the beginning, but then that passion quickly turns into conflict. It can. So I would say that that's probably a no-go. Aries and Sagittarius. Aries, Sagittarius, I would give that a big thumbs up because of the fact that I find that's like the Leo-Aries combination. Aries and Sagittarius, again, I've seen this combo quite a few times, and those energies seem to be beautiful for each other. The Aries does seem to ground the Sagittarians, can often be a little bit flighty and have these flights of imagination and want to go off and do all of these things, and the Aries can ground them. And again, the Sagittarians have wonderful sense of humor. They bring up and uplift the Aries, and two fire energies, and they seem to get along very, very well at times, again, because they both can be hot-tempered. There can be flare-ups, but overall for longevity, it seems like that is a good match for Aries. Now moving on to Aries and Capricorn, that's neutral energy. Again, it would have to depend greatly on the people involved. Aries and Capricorn, the Capricorn, in my opinion, can, again, workaholic and serious, can bring the Aries down, although these two work together very well and probably would be very well suited in a partnership, a business partnership. But in a romantic relationship, it would probably be a little bit difficult and too serious. So I would have to give that one a thumbs down. Aries with Aquarius, I've often seen this combination work long term. I give it a thumbs up. The intellectual Aquarian really enjoys the spark and the intellect of the Aries, and the Aries being a worker and serious, the Aquarian does tend to respect that and really enjoy that about the Aries, and the Aries does seem to really understand and get along well with the Aquarian energy due to the fact that they're a little bit detached, but that's okay for Aries. They're not as sensitive as, say, a water sign. So these energies can actually work well in terms of a relationship long term. And last we have Aries with Pisces. I would have to give this combination thumbs down, due to the fact that for a long-term relationship, the Aries and Pisces energies just, in my opinion, do not blend very well together. The Pisces is very, very sensitive, although the Aries can be good for them in the sense that they will help ground them, because Pisces sometimes do need that emotional grounding. However, Aries will probably, with their tendency to have a bad temper when they get upset about something, could really, really hurt the sensitive Pisces feelings. So in that respect, I would have to give it a thumbs down. Now remember, a lot of it has to do with moon signs as well, and I'm sure there's combinations that have worked out with these ones that I've given thumbs down. I would love to hear from you in the comments below if that is the situation, but those are just some of my thoughts on the combination of Aries with the other signs. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to like, share, and definitely leave a comment. Until next time, Aries, bye for now.